Hello, squirrel listeners. I'm on the Chromebook, so we shouldn't get interrupted today. Sorry about that yesterday. Got a phone call and it knocked me off. Let's see. Rose could not help laughing now, though much pleased, for Kitty was so prettily in earnest and yet so perfectly ignorant how to begin on the self-improvement she very much needed that it was pathetic as well as comical to see and hear her. You certainly want some of those and must begin at once to get them, but Aunt Jessie can help you there better than I can, or Aunt Jane, for she has very firm ones, I assure you, said Rose, sobering down as quickly as possible. Mercy on us, I should never dare to say a word about it to Mrs. Mack, for I'm dreadfully afraid of her. She's so stern. And how I'm ever going to get on when she is my mother-in-law, I don't know, cried Kitty, clasping her hands in dismay at the idea. She isn't half as stern as she looks, and if you go to her without fear, you've no idea how sensible and helpful she is. I used to be frightened out of my wits with her, but now I'm not a bit, and we get on nicely. Indeed, I'm fond of her. She's so reliable and upright in all things. She certainly is the straightest woman I ever saw and the most precise. I never shall forget how scared I was when Steve took me up to see her that first time. I put on all my plainest things, did my hair in a meek knob, and tried to act like a sober, sedate young woman. Steve would laugh at me and say I looked like a pretty nun, so I couldn't be as proper as I wished. Mrs. Mack was very kind, of course, but her eye was so sharp I felt as if she saw right through me and knew that I'd pinned on my bonnet strings, lost a button off my boot, and didn't brush my hair for 10 minutes every night. And Kitty, in one awe-stricken note, she likes you, though, and so does Uncle, and he set his heart on having you live with them by and by, so don't mind her eyes, but look straight up at her, and you'll see how kind they can grow. Oh, mercy. Mac likes me too, and that did please me, for he doesn't like girls generally. Steve told me he said I had the making of a capital little woman in me. Wasn't it nice of him? Steve was so proud, though he does laugh at Mac sometimes. Don't disappoint them, dear. Encourage Steve in all the good things he likes or wants. Make friends with Mac. Love Aunt Jane, and be a daughter to Uncle, and you'll find yourself a very happy girl. I truly will, and thank you very much for not making fun of me. I know I'm a little goose, but lately I felt as if I might come to something if I had the right sort of help. I'll go up and see Aunt Jessie tomorrow. I'm not a bit afraid of her, and then if you'll just quietly find out from Uncle Doctor what I must read, I'll work as hard as I can. Don't tell anyone, please. They'll think it odd and affected, and I can't bear to be laughed at, though I dare say it is good discipline. Rose promised, and both worked in silence for a moment. Then Kitty asked rather timidly, "Are you and Charlie trying this plan too?" Since you've left off going out so much, he keeps away also, and we don't know what to make of it. He has had what he calls an artistic fit lately. Set up a studio and is doing some crayon sketches of us all. If he'd only finish his things, a great variety at once. Excuse me. I'll take you in sometime, and perhaps he will do a portrait of you for Steve. He likes girls' faces and gets the likenesses wonderfully well. People say you're engaged, but I contradict it because, of course, I should know if you were. We are not. I'm glad of it, for really, Rose, I'm afraid Charlie hasn't got firm principles. Though he is a fascinating fellow and one can't scold him. You don't mind my saying so, do you, dear? Asked Kitty, for Rose did not answer at once. Not in the least. For you are one of us now, and I can speak frankly, and I will, for I think in one way you can help Steve very much. You are right about Charlie, both as to the principles and the fascination. Steve admires him exceedingly, and always has from a and always exceeding. Wait a minute. Steve admires him exceedingly, and always from a boy liked to imitate his pleasant ways. Okay. Some of them are very harmless and do Steve good, but some are not. I needn't talk about it, only you must show your boy that you depend on him to keep out of harm and help him do it. I will, and then perhaps when he's a perfect model, Charlie will imitate him. I really began to feel as if I had a great deal to do, and Kitty looked as if she was beginning to like it also. We all have, and the sooner we go to work, the better for us and those we love. You wouldn't think now that Phoebe was doing anything for Archie, but she is, and writes much splendid... we'll get off there. Much splendid letters. They stir him up wonderfully and makes us all love and admire her more than ever. How's she getting on? Asked Kitty, who, though she called herself a little goose, had tact enough to see that Rose did not care to talk about Charlie. Nicely, for you know she used to sing in our choir, so that was a good recommendation for another. She got a fine place in the new church at then there's a blank, and that gives her a comfortable salary, though she has something put away. Something put away. I'm so sorry, y'all. She was always a saving creature and kept her wages carefully. Uncle invested them, and she begins to feel quite independent already. No fear, but my Phoebe will get on. Phoebe will get on. She has such energy and manages so well, I sometimes wish I could run away and work with her. Ah, my dear, we rich girls have our trials as well as poor ones, though we don't get as much pity as they do, sighed Kitty. Nobody knows what I suffer sometimes from worries that I can't talk about, and shouldn't get much sympathy if I did, just because I live in a big house. Wear good gowns and have lots of lovers. Annabelle used to say she envied me above all created things, but she doesn't. But she doesn't now, and it's perfectly absorbed in her dear little Chinaman. Do you see how she ever could like him? So they began to talk gossip, and the sober talk was over for that time. But when Kitty departed after criticizing all her dear friends and their respective sweethearts, she had a helpful little book in her muff, a resolute expression on her bright face, and so many excellent plans for self-improvement in resolute expression of breath. So many excellent plans for self-improvement in her busy brain that she and Steve bid fair to turn out the model couple of the century. Sorry, I was about to go to sleep for a minute. Oh, I gotta start reading earlier. Doesn't matter. I sit down and I'm like, I can't get nothing done. I so want to get my wool bag done. So I can felt it. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Pearls, Tunisian hook. Gotta learn to do it. And I have an interchangeable set. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I got such a good deal on this. $20 off, I think it was. Enough to make a good size shawl here. And I got it on the Lovecraft site, I'm pretty sure. To go to sleep again. Sorry. Oh, Mercy Geisha. Geshi. I guess that's how you say it. 36% viscose. I told y'all about it on live, but just in case. And let's see what I say. 36. 35 cotton. 20 silk and 10 wool. And it is 600 meters. Ain't it pretty? Got them beautiful, beautiful spring colors. And this is soft. This one's not scratchy like the other ones I got. I'm so sorry, y'all. Forgot I was recording. I love y'all. Take care. Have a good night. I'm going to hit the hay pretty soon, I think. These Be sweet. Don't be ugly. Love y'all.